Joining me now is Marianne Williamson. She's running for DNC chairwoman. Marianne, it's great to have you. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me, and welcome to D.C.
Of course. So the last time we spoke, you were running for president. I spoke to you last year, and one of the things you told me was that the messaging coming from President Biden and his team was directly contradictory to the visceral experience of a majority of Americans. We now see that Donald Trump won this election. He won the popular vote as well. Do you wish that more people would have listened to what you had to say back then, and does that influence your run now?
Well, of course I do, and it influences it in that I've had so much experience and I've seen how the whole thing works. Knowing how the whole thing works, I know how we need to course correct. I have passions about that, of course, on a personal level, that I bring to this realization that the DNC needs to change. And I feel I have insight, not only based on my experience politically, but my entire career for the last 40 years. Transforming institutions, transforming cultures, transforming systems, transforming even people's lives, which is really what politics should be about. It should be about creating the hope and creating the policies that people can get health care who do not now have it, that they can get higher education who do not now have it, who can live in a safe neighborhood who do not now have it, who can have a clean and repaired planet who do not now have it. I want to help align the policies of the DNC with the yearnings of the American people so that the American people look en masse once more to the Democratic Party, assuming that we are unequivocal advocates for the working people of the United States, that we have their back, that together we can make this country everything that it should be for all of our citizens.
So the events of the election brought us to where we are now, but I want to speak about it a little bit. Obviously, Donald Trump won. Did you expect that, and you saw it coming? You must have, given everything that you were saying prior to.
Well, I wouldn't have run if I had not felt that we needed to speak far more directly, as you said, to the visceral experience of a majority of Americans. I've traveled extensively, not only as a political candidate, but throughout my career for 40 years. I see what's out there. We now have 70 to 90 million people who are underinsured or uninsured. I've spoken to such people. I've spoken to people who are rationing their insulin, who are among the over 1 million people who do. I've spoken to people who are selling their blood plasma in order to pay their rent. I have spoken to people who do not have a roof over their head. I think that the Democratic Party must be a political container for the yearnings of every single American to have a shot at the American dream. Right now, America is organized in such a way that if you're in the club, it's great, but not nearly enough people are in the club. What's the club? It means you have enough and you have a shot at more. That's the club. And that's what I would like America. I think that is the American dream. All people created equal and with an inalienable right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That should be our mission. That should be our collective purpose, our North Star, what we're headed for. And I want every person who votes in America to see that that's what the Democrats are working towards every single day. In some cases, Jason, we don't brag enough about ourselves in the Democratic Party. Even when we have done some really great things, too many Americans don't know about. Donald Trump brags about what he hasn't even done. We've done things that we haven't bothered to brag about because we have kept our work in these wood-paneled closed rooms. I want to shout it from the rooftops. I want to be a spectacular megaphone for what Democrats stand for and what we're doing. And that's what I will do if elected to DNC chair.
And that's what I was going to ask you about. What is setting you apart from the other people who are running for this same position? I think everyone agrees after the last election in your party that there has to be change at the top. Why you opposed to the other people?
You know, I'm not a political insider, and that's the good news. That's not the bad news. The Democratic Party needs to throw out the playbook. Donald Trump is not an ordinary politician, and we will not be defeated by ordinary politics. He has created a collective adrenaline rush among the American people. He's got this psychological and emotional thrall over the minds of many, many people who are looking to him for hope. I wish every American well, and that includes people who have voted for Trump, but I think some of those people are going to be sorely disappointed when they see what's going to be happening over the next 2 years and longer. So I want to use the skills that I have developed over 40 years as a professional inspirer, as a professional motivator, as a professional transformer of people's lives and of systems. And I want to bring all of that together with what I know personally about politics from having run for president twice. So I think that people hear you on the level that you speak from. And Washington think is not America think.
Yeah.
And a lot of Americans don't like Washington think. I don't come from Washington think. I don't come from Washington talk. But I tell you, I'm more America think and America talk than a lot of the people in this town. And that's what I want to bring to the DNC.
Well, best of luck with your
Thank
run,
you.
and thank you so much for doing
Thank
this.
you.